The Mozart Project.
And I was born. I must not and cannot bury my gift for composing. I am a composer, and I was born a Kapellmeister. My subject enlarges itself, becomes methodized and defined, and the whole, though it be long, stands almost finished and complete in my mind, so that I can survey it like a fine picture or a beautiful statue at a glance. Nor do I hear in my imagination the parts successively, but I hear them, as it were, all at once. I am not in love with Constanza. I fool around and have fun with her. If I were obliged to marry all the girls with whom I've had a little fun, I should already have at least 200 wives. There are people who believe it is impossible to love a poor girl without having bad intentions. I will have them give me something to chop, even to my greatest prostitution, and I will see to it that I can do it prima vista, because I am a born lumberjack, and can do nothing but strum on the piano a little. She played my sonatas slowly, but prima vista without missing a note. Well, now who is the one I love? Don't get a fright, please. Not one of the Webers? Yes, one of the Webers. Not Josefa, not Sophie, but Constanza, the one in the middle. She is not ugly and nothing less than beautiful. Her entire beauty consists of small eyes and a beautiful figure. She is not witty, but has enough common sense to accomplish her duties as a wife and mother. I am writing this at 2 a.m. Please keep my father well for me. I get all excited like a child when I think about being with you again. Everything is cold, ice cold, but as it is, it's also empty. Adieu, my dear. I am forever. I already have the taste of death on my tongue. While I was writing this last page, tear after tear fell on the paper. But I must cheer up. Catch! An astonishing number of kisses are flying about. The deuce! I see a whole crowd of them. Ha ha! I have just caught 3. They are delicious. I kiss you millions of times. Your Mozart, who loves you. I hope you will be ready to listen to one of the saddest and most painful pieces of news, and yet remain steadfast. Corpus Christi was performed with great applause, since death is the true final purpose of our lives, best friend of humanity. I thank the Lord that he let me have the opportunity to get to know death as the key to true happiness. Stands almost finished and complete in my mind. I already have the taste of death on my tongue. I could not sleep all night for pain, and if you forsake me, I can hardly make up my mind to send this letter, but I must. I promise to write to you. You know that I, so to speak, am stuck in my music. My head and hands are so full of this third act that it wouldn't surprise me if I myself would turn into a third act. And if you forsake me, if it weren't for my condition, I wouldn't be forced to be so shameless before my one and only friend. Adieu, forgive me. For God's sake, do forgive me, and adieu.
Excerpt from the will of Thomas Franz Closset, drawn up on November 28, 1802, in the presence of the delegated and authorized clerk Karl-Heinz Schwarzstein from the Vienna Municipal Court. I am a doctor, more precisely a family doctor, and my profession seeks to forestall the drama of life turning into the drama of death. I cannot help but notice the irony of fate that I entered the annals of history solely because I failed at my chosen vocation. As I stepped into the room lit by candles, their scent pungent and mournful, I saw Constantius Wolfi, our Mozart, and God's Amadeus, supporting himself on a large pillow and dictating something to a young man who carefully penned everything his teacher relied in a barely audible, yet still resolute voice. He told me, keeping a pained smile on his face, "Here I am, on my deathbed, composing a requiem. As a man of science, my knowledge of music was limited, but this seemed to me like a bad sign, a dark omen, as if he tempted the gods." In the following days, I would visit once at the crack of dawn and once in the evening. He would sometimes feel much improved and rise to observe the snowy, noble Vienna through the window. Yet the disease was persistent, and it would break him again and again. His face appeared not only exhausted, but also weary and lost, with his eyes sunken. Just when I would think I understood the cause of one symptom, another would completely crush my diagnosis. I believe that even after me, people will be puzzled by this problem. It soon became clear only one mystery remained. How long would the agony last? Exactly 2 days before his death, which was to take place on December 5th, 1791, I found the student in his room, catching the maestro's dictates. The song of that would never be left unfinished. That night I stayed by his bed when, tortured by a pain that could not be relieved anymore, he managed to fall asleep briefly. I did all that I could and achieved nothing. Sometimes you go down in history even as a note in the margins, by doing nothing at all, by undertaking nothing, by failing in your own task, in the work assigned to you. My grave, simple, with only the cross and the name. Thomas Franz Closset.